Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
All right. Welcome to the Gridiron, baby. If you give this video a thumbs up or maybe share this video, that would be absolutely freaking phenomenal. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you. If not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. It's free of charge. What do you got to lose? It's totally free of charge. But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. If you want to help support my channel out, description box below, very top link takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. Each one has some little perks to them. So once again, if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. And then finally, just underneath that, there's another link takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. We have over 10,000 members in the group, and it is doing simply marvelous. But basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I got internet access, I am putting stuff in this group darn near 365. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You will not be dissatisfied. I promise. Well, you knew it was, going to be, I mean, the thing was, is it, how long can we drag on? We were 2-2, 3-2, 2-3, 4-3. We still maybe had some type of playoff aspirations or something along those lines. I guess Wilson probably still would have maybe been in there, but it is what it is, right? Every season, has its own flavor to it. Takes on its own storyline, has its own life to it. When they put Eli in there, we were 5-4, right? When we pulled 700 years later, when we finally pulled him out, we were 0-2, put Daniel Jones in, right? Now we're 0-3. Now Daniel Jones got put in the 3rd game of the season, right? Jaxson Dart's going to get put in the 4th game of the season. Eli Manning got put in the 10th game of the season. So it is what it is. It's listening to when Kurt Warner was talking about the 04 Giants. They got to the point it was like 5-4. They were 5-2 at one point. Then they lost a couple tough games and they went 5-4, and it just seemed like between the coaching staff and everything, it wasn't like they had a horrible team, but maybe they were not going to be maybe not quite Super Bowl contenders, so it may not be a bad idea. It's tough pulling the plug on a season. You have a winning record, you still have a chance maybe to make the playoffs, and they pulled the plug on the season pretty much, and they put Eli in there, right, for the final 7 games of the season. Now, of course, he lost his first 6 games, and he won the final game against the Cowboys, right? But those snaps, everything was invaluable to him, right? And, of course, then the following season, making the playoffs, right? You don't know here, right, how much of this is, let's get Dart in there. Let's see if he can jumpstart the offense, the team, right? Also, you don't know exactly how much with Daboll, right? Is it, maybe he's trying to try to save his job as well, too. I mean, because if he can show that maybe Dart has something to him, and, these final, we got 14 games of the season, Dart, shows something, maybe Daboll can stick around. I hope Daboll gets some along the line, gets fired, because I don't think he's a good coach. Good offensive mind and nice guy and all that stuff. We're going to talk a little bit more about Daboll a little bit further down in our program here. But as far as a head coach, I don't think he's, if, unfortunately, if Dart does start showing some promise and, we have some life and everything, we're just taking a bad head coach and maybe giving him another season. So I don't know. I don't, I mean, obviously I want Dart to work out well, but I don't want to keep Daboll. I mean, I just think he's not a good coach. Good offensive mind, but McAdoo was a good, I mean, we can look at actually, we can look at the last 5 coaches the Giants had. It includes interim head coach Steve Spagnuolo, right? The last 5, all very good up here. McAdoo was really good offensive wise, right? The Eagles wanted him, right? And the Giants want to hire McAdoo because the Eagles came knocking on the McAdoo door. They were quite possibly going to hire him as their head coach. But the Giants wound up getting, he was good up here with the offense and all that, right? And of course, he didn't even make it through the second season. And then what did we do? Spagnuolo was our defensive coordinator, right? Because Spagnuolo 2016 was our coordinator, took us to the playoffs, right? Our defense that year was very, very good. But 2017, right, McAdoo got canned after 12 games. Final 4 games of the season. Spagnuolo was our interim head coach. He went 1-3. He's a very good defensive coordinator. He's not a good head coach. Not a good head coach at all. If you look at it, he was 1-4, 1-3 with the Giants. But if you look at his record with the head coach and with the Rams, he was absolutely atrocious. And once again, good defensive-minded coach, not a good head coach. Then we bring in Pat Shurmur, who is very good at calling plays, right? Not a good head coach. He was 9-23 with the Browns. He was 2 seasons with the Browns. He was 9-23. We bring him in with the Giants. In 2 seasons, he was 9-23. So it was at 18-46. He's good at calling plays, right? Offensive mind, but not a good head coach, right? Then we take Joe Judge, right? Joe Judge, while he was under Belichick, and of course we pretty much know that almost, I don't know how, why, whatever, but it seems like anybody, for the most part, that comes underneath the Belichick tree, goes out, tries to become a coach, is just not very good. And Joe Judge is one of them. Joe Judge was very good, especially with special teams and all with New England. Is very bright. You listen to Bob Papa and even Carl Banks will talk about Joe Judge. Is that when they talk to him, it's like, the guy knows his football. He knows how to talk about things and explain things and all, but he's not a good head coach, right? Now then, of course, now it leads to Brian Daboll. Right. Good offensive mind and all this stuff and everything, but, not a good head coach. Right. So you kind of wondering how much of this was, I don't think trying to save the season is in the cards anymore. Right. I think the Titanic is kind of like going down for the season. Right. So, it's like, do we want to get Dart in there, to see what he can do? Give him, as I said, give him the final 14 games of this season, which is going to be pretty much a lost season, right? And those 14 starts for next season would be huge for him, right? The thing is, as I said, I'm worried about is that, if Dart does show some stuff, show some promise, once again, I hope he does, because I'm sick and tired. I don't care who the quarterback is. I don't care if he's a green Martian. I couldn't care less. I couldn't care if he's a polar bear and we got him from Greenland. I don't care. I'll get a quarterback here, a young quarterback, right? Put him behind center and I'm hoping for the best for him. I could care less who he is, right? We drafted Dart. I'm hoping for the best for him because once again, it's like trying to find the left tackle for all those years. We need a left tackle. We need a left tackle. We got Andrew Thomas, right? For a while there, we needed a number 1 wide receiver. The Giants needed a number 1 wide receiver next year. The Giants needed a number 1 wide receiver. No one wide. It was like a record play over and finally got Malik name. The Giants need a quarterback. Need a quarterback. That's can we get a quarterback, right? Especially if it's Dart, right? Nice and young. And if he can be the quarterback, right? We got at least the next 10 years. We don't have to hear the Giants need a quarterback. No, we don't. We got Dart. Okay. But you're kind of wondering, is Daboll trying to also maybe save his job as well, too? Look what I drafted, though. Look, we got some promise here. They said the thing is, I don't think Daboll's a very good coach. Having a good quarterback, unless he's going to put up 50 points a game for us. I mean, Daboll just does not seem, he just seems lost. He on the sideline. I mean, I've heard it one too many times. After the Giants wind up losing, after the presser, nothing was good enough. It was the coaching, this, that. It all starts with me. Nothing. I mean, I'm sick and tired of hearing that. Good coaches find ways, at least, to be competitive, right, and not get blown out. You're supposed to be an offensive guru. 2 out of our 3 games, we didn't even score 10 points. Well, where's this offensive mind coming at? Where's it? Good coaches find ways to at least be competitive. Good coaches find to take what they got and score some points with them. Plain and simple, right? Daboll's not doing that. I mean, this is, the 2023, we couldn't average like 16 points a game. I think last year we averaged, 15 or 16 points a game. Right. We're averaging about 17 or so points a game here, but that's because we scored 37 against the Cowboys. But the other 2 games, our offense is just horrible. We're like 2 for 10 in the red zone. I mean, that's also because we were scoring like from outside the red zone, touchdown passes, right? Red zone were horrible. This past week against the Chiefs, we were 1 for 10 at third down. Well, we were 1 for 4, I think, at fourth down. A lot of that had to do because we didn't have a kicker. But between third down and fourth down, I think we were like 2 for 14. I mean, where was this offensive mind at? I'm not saying we got to score 30 points a game, but, if you got an offensive mind, you take what you got and you need to figure out a way to put some points on the board. Plain and simple. And if you can't do that, I mean, the Chiefs had, obviously the 2 high safeties. Now, a lot of it was, when you got the safe, because they're like, Spagnuolo's like, I don't care what you do. You're not getting behind us. Well, I'll put 37 safeties back there. We'll all stand in the end. You're not getting behind us. So the Chiefs were basically use the underneath and maybe use the running game. Well, the Giants used the running game. With Cam, right? We're going to talk a little bit more about him a little later in our program here, if you know what I mean. So the running game was pretty. Even Tracy, before he got injured, right, was doing pretty good. So our running game actually worked out pretty well. But you got to also realize, what to do underneath, and it's like, in this modern age, I mean, come on, they're taking Malik away, huh? They're maybe covering with the corner, and the corner's carrying them kind of deep, and then you got the safety up, and then I even heard somebody talking about it. Maybe had kind of like one of the linebackers on that side of the field, kind of sliding over there a little bit. So you kind of like you got the linebacker on the inside, you got the cornerback cover carrying them, and you got the safety over. So you had like half the defense covering. Okay, but you got to find other ways for the other guys to get open. But also, I mean, in this modern day, and I mean, we're not talking 1965, the Packers sweep here. We're just going to run one play. We're going to run it over and over. I mean, that doesn't work anymore. In this modern day, you can't figure out a way to get Malik Neighbors the ball. I forgot what, I think he had like 8 targets. I think it was 7 or 8. He only caught 2 passes. I mean, your best offensive weapon, you get him the ball 2 times. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? And you're supposed to be. I mean, it's like if you're a good coach, you find ways, you figure ways out, right? It's like, they took Neighbors away. I don't know. We didn't know what to do. I don't know. It's the chess match, right? You got this chess piece here, and Spagnuolo's turn. Okay, we're all right. You got this. We're going to do this. Well, good move. Okay, we got this. You do that. Well, guess what? We're gonna do this. Now it's your turn, right? It's just very, very frustrating. And I did a video, whatever it was, a week or so. Like there's always a problem. Always. It's like listening to my wife. There's always something wrong. Always something wrong. You can't go through a day where everything's just hunky-dory. There's always a problem. But after the game, it's like against the Cowboys. We had, 140, 160, 160. We set a Giants record, 160 yards and penalties. Right? And then, of course, some of it is also, self-inflicted or whatever you want to call it, because Graham Gano got injured, so we didn't have a kicker. So some of it, maybe a little bit, obviously, is bad luck. But it seems like every time we lose, there's like always something wrong. And it's been like the past 2+ seasons now. It is a little shocking, though, to be fair, right? Because, we went 9-7-1 the first year. We had no salary cap, right? Didn't have a great offensive line. We had basically Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. I mean, we didn't have really phenomenal wide receivers or nothing like that. Isaiah Hodgins came on toward the end of the season for us, and but we didn't have phenomenal. We found ways to win. We didn't have a hard schedule, and we won a lot of close games. But now all of a sudden, we can't win any close games. We can't win any games. Period. As with that, we're 9-28 now over the past since 2023. 9-28. Our winning percentage is .243. I mean, that's all you need to know, right? Parcells, Bill Balls, you are what your record says you are, right? Woulda, coulda, shoulda, or this or that. I mean, our winning percentage is .243 over the past 2+ seasons. Does everything have to be absolutely perfect for us to win a football? I mean, that's not necessarily the way it goes all the time, So it just seems like, maybe Daboll's, obviously very good, maybe offensive minded, but not a very good coach. Not a very good coach. I'm kind of like, obviously torn. I'm very happy we got Dart in there. Maybe we have our quarterback of the future. Maybe. But on the other hand, I surely don't want Dart to play bad. Absolutely not. I want him to really do good. But does that mean it's going to save Daboll his job for at least another year or so? I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. I am not impressed with Daboll at all. It's just, guy just seems lost on the sideline there. It just seems like now, got another Joe Judge out there. And I'm going to talk about these head coaches in a little bit here. But so it leads me obviously to this here. All right, now, of course, now we got Young Ho Koo. Now whatever it was, a couple of years ago, I don't remember what year it was. He was obviously with the Falcons. And one of the games we played in Giants or MetLife Stadium, the Giants were beating the Falcons, and 3/4 of the game, 3.5 quarters of the game, somewhere around there, the Giants were winning. The Giants had the control. Giants were, but we let the Falcons hang around. Of course, and what winds up happening, the Falcons scored like a touchdown so late or whatever like that. Then they get the ball back and they march down the field. And I think his time expired. Mr. Koo here kicked the game-winning field goal against the Giants, and Giants might have blown another game. Let me see here. All right, let me see here. It was a few years ago. I remember Atlanta came to town. Let's see here. 18. Might have been a Judge game. Let's see here. All right, now let's try 2021. Because Koo's been around for quite a few years here. Yeah, 17-14. Yeah. As we started 0-3. So that was Judge's second season. So we started 0-3. The Giants were winning Giants were winning 14-7. And with 4 minutes to go in the game, the Falcons scored a touchdown to tie it up 14-14. But, I mean, for the most part, let me see here in that game. Yeah, the Giants had 346 yards. The Falcons had 296. The Giants had 21 first downs. The Falcons had 18. But, the Falcons scored 10 points in the last, 4 minutes of the game. The Giants, for the most part, had the better of the play. And as time expired, Young-Ho Koo, 40-yard field goal to give the Falcons the 17-14 win over the Giants. That was in the second year of the Joe Judge era, right? So the Giants started the season 0-3 because of that game when they should have won. But Gano, it was 2 seasons ago, right? He had his hamstring, I believe it was. Then he had a knee, right? Now he has a groin. So, going to be interesting to see how long he's out, if he is. The other thing, too, is going to be interesting that if Gano does wind up coming back, and he's supposed to be the starting kicker for the Giants. Say the Giants are playing at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, did the Giants elevate somebody off the practice squad and dress another kicker just in case Gano gets injured again? Are they going to do that the whole season? Waste a roster spot on the 53. Just 46 guys. They're going to put 2 kickers on there just in case. How's that going to work out? Right? Or if Gano actually says, "Oh no, I feel good. I'm good to go," and okay, you'll be our only kicker, and then they get down and they pray to sweet dear baby Jesus. Oh, please don't let Gano get injured. What are they going to do? Right? But at least we got Koo. I mean, I'll tell you what, it was. That's a pressure job. That's a pressure job. He missed one kick. Now it was the kick at the end of the game to tie the Bucs. Now it wasn't for a win or anything like that, but it was to tie the Bucs at 23 to send it in overtime, and then of course to let the chips fall where they may. You don't know who would have wound up winning that game, but it was a 40-something yard field goal. He pushed it to the right, wide right. He pushed it, kicked it to the right and just kept sailing over there. Right. So I don't know if he kind of choked or exactly what it was, but so far this year he was 2 for 3. He missed 1 field goal and they let him go. That's a pressure job. Now, to be fair, also the year before that, he was 73%. Was that what it was? Last season. Yeah, it was 73.5%. It was 25 out of 34. Right. So in this modern age, 73.5% field goal, it's not even 3 out of 4. I mean, that's not good. If we're talking like 1970, and you're 73 point, you're a Hall of Famer. You're 35 out of 24, 25 out of 34, or whatever it was, 73. You're like, oh, they're like, oh yeah, you're an All-Pro, you're a Pro Bowler, you're a Hall of Famer, you're the greatest kicker of all time. In this modern age, then he cut it. So he didn't have a very good season last year. Now, to be fair, I don't know if he had any injuries or if he just, a lot of them, they were the 40 and the 50-yard variety. Okay? I think last season, if I remember, looking at that chart real fast, I think he connected on all his extra points last season. I think he was like 26 out of 26. So the short ones he was doing pretty good on. It was just the longer ones. Now, how long? I mean, he's not, he's 31. So, I mean, in kicker age, that's not really old, especially when Adam Vinatieri was like 97 when he finally retired. So, I mean, you can kick for a while, right? But so I don't know. But early on in his career, I mean, Young-Ho Koo was, let's see, 2017 was his first season, right? He played for the Chargers. Then in 2018, he didn't play. But 2019, he was 88.5%. 2020, I guess he was a Pro Bowler, an All-Pro, or he was 94.9%, almost 95%. He was 37 out of 39. 2021, he was 27 out of 29. Then 2022, he was 86.5%. 2023, he was 86.5%. Actually, 2022 and 2023, he was 32 out of 37 both those years. 86.5% ain't bad. I mean, that ain't bad at all, right? But last season, he was 25 out of 34. As long as it was 58, so he's got some length to him. It was 73.5% field goal percentage. That's not good. This year, he was 2 out of 3. He missed a 1 to tie the game, and then after that, they just let him go. Well, actually, they let him go after the this past game. Well, I think their other kicker was like 5 for 5. So they're like, the other guy is 5 for 5. Might as well just let Koo go. So they let him go. The Giants picked him up. He's on the practice squad with Hey Jude, right? So now we got 2 kickers on the practice squad. Not sure if Gano is going to. It's seeming like he's not going to be able to play. I'm going to go over the injury report. So be interesting to see who do the Giants, elevate. Do they elevate Koo or do they elevate Nakatani? Right. Let's see here. Former Falcons kicker Young-Ho Koo finds a new NFL home. So, if he does ever make it to the stadium and he starts kicking, the fans are going to be going, Koo, Koo, right? Just the way with Malik, they go, leak, right? So Koo might be a folk hero. We'll have to wait and see. But it's only a matter of time before the former Falcons kicker Young-Ho Koo landed a new home. Less than a week after being released by the Falcons, Koo is signing with the Giants practice squad, according to a report NFL Network insider Mike Garafolo. Koo, who's 31, not that old, missed a 44-yard field goal in the Falcons' season-opening loss to the Bucs and was benched for week 2. After practice squad kicker Parker Romo went 5 for 5 against the Vikings, the Falcons made the decision to release Koo. Giants kicker Graham Gano suffered a groin injury prior to Week's 3 game. Koo gives the Giants a proven kicker in case Gano has to miss time. Mike Garafolo writes, with Graham Gano dealing with the groin injury suffered on Sunday in pregame warm-ups against the Chiefs, the Giants bring in an experienced leg in Koo, who needed a fresh start after his struggles in Atlanta. And I said the last 2 years, he whatever the reason, it's far, from me to actually try to diagnose what's going on, but you're averaging like 80 last 2 years, and maybe prior to that, you're averaging like almost 87%, and you go from 87 down to 73.5%. I mean, so not exactly sure what it is, but something's wrong there, right? So maybe a fresh start, right? Romo struggled after the Falcons signed him to the 53-man roster on Saturday. The 28-year-old went 0 for 2 in Atlanta's 30-0 loss to the Panthers. Head coach Raheem Morris said that the team would look to bring in competition for Romo this week, but it will have to be someone else other than Koo. So he went 5 for 5. They let Koo go, and then Romo went 0 for 2 in the next game. So Morris said, we got to bring in some competition. You've got to do that until you get it right. Falcons released cornerback, whatever. We got here this one too here. Giants signing ex-Falcon kicker Young-Ho Koo after the Graham Gano injury debacle. Yep. After the latest Graham Gano injury embarrassment, the Giants are adding reinforcement at kicker. The signed former Falcon kicker Young-Ho Koo to their practice squad on Tuesday, according to NFL Network. Koo, who was a Pro Bowler in 2020, but is coming off a rough 2024 season in which he missed 9 of his 34 field goal attempts, and he went 2 for 3 in Falcons' Week 1 loss to the Bucs more than 2 weeks ago. Well, they scored 20 points, so he kicked 2 field goals, but he missed that third one. So, obviously, Gano said, I was warming up just like normal and just felt a pull and went in and talked to the trainers. They wrapped it up and tried to keep it as loose as possible, Gano said. They couldn't send me out not knowing if I was going to be able to get the ball over the line of scrimmage or not. Ended up making a 25-yard field goal in the fourth quarter to cut the lead, the Chiefs lead to 16-9, making a one-score game. But he grimaced after making the kick. So, unfortunately, what you don't know, making that kick and wind up being, worthless points. Did that set back even more, right? Of course, Jamie Gillen missed an extra point attempt, which got blocked. I believe the kick was low, right? A similar situation unfolded last season during week 2 when Graham Gano pulled his hamstring chasing down a Commander's returner on the opening kickoff. Gano entered that game with a groin strain, but the team insisted that that had nothing to do with the hamstring issue. So then he had his knee issue as well too. So he's had lower body issues, So he's 38 years old. So this might be the last season for Gano. We need somebody in here who can stay healthy. Let's see. Jude McIntyre is already on the Giants practice squad and figures to get a chance to play on Sunday against the Chargers if Gano is out. So we're going to have to wait and see. Wait and see who the Giants, elevate. I mean, if Gano can't go, it'll be interesting to see. Does Kuz get, elevated or not? So at least we do have reinforcements though. But I mean, it just goes to show you. I mean, the rotten luck the Giants have. It's if the Giants don't have any rotten luck, they have no luck at all. It's like it just seems like almost week in and week out, like anything that can go wrong, it goes against the Giants. It's just simply amazing. It really is. And your kicker hurt once again for the second time. I mean, actually, so you look at 17 game, what they said, the last 17, 18 games, right? We've lost our kicker like 2 times in 17. I mean, some teams can go like decades without losing a kicker in a game, right? And we're losing every 17 or 18 games between this here and you go back to when we played the Commanders last year, 18 games ago, we lost our kicker twice. It's like unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. And of course you get, sad, looks like Tracy's going to be out a couple of weeks with his shoulder. Now, the good thing about here is that, quite possibly this might mean, that Turbo might get elevated. So, right. So we might have Cam, right? We might have Turbo Miller and Motor Singletary, right? And I'm going to talk a little bit more about Cam toward the end of the program here. We got some rather impressive information on Mr. Cam here. Very impressive. Let's hope he can stay healthy, right? But unfortunately, it looks like Tyrone Tracy's dreams of having another 1,000-yard season not happening. Actually, I think he said before the season he wanted to maybe get like about 1,500 total yards, and that ain't happening, unfortunately. I'm very happy he's on the team. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it's just a freaking shame here. So the Giants will lean on Cam Scatterboot with Tyrone Tracy out for 2 to 4 weeks. Giant fans and interested onlookers can't seem to get enough of rookie Cam Scatterboot. As fate would have it, they're about to get their wish as he's in for a bigger workload with backfield mate Tyrone Tracy Jr. out 2 to 4 weeks with a shoulder injury. Unfortunately, Tracy went down with a separated shoulder in the first half of Sunday night's 22-9 loss to the Chiefs at MetLife Stadium. Scatterboot was immediately elevated to the lead back and injected life into the Giants' offense. Yes, he did. Absolutely. Cam had a great game. 10 carries, 60 rushing yards. He had 1 rushing touchdown. He caught 6 balls on 8 targets for another 61 yards. Scadaboo now leads all rookie running backs in rushing. We have no running game, and somehow even Ashton Genty, right? I mean, it wasn't even the number 1 pick in this year's draw, whatever, top 10, whatever it was. I mean, Scadaboo was just crazy. This could be Tracy's Wally Pipp moment, right? No one should ever lose their job to injury, they say, if only that were true. The 0-3 Giants need a spark, and they'll take it from wherever and whomever they can get it from. Of course, Wally Pipp was, I believe, he was the first baseman for the Yankees. He got injured. I don't know, he's sick or injured, whatever it was, and Lou Gehrig took his spot. And Lou Gehrig went in, and Lou Gehrig never gave it up until Lou Gehrig had to give it up because he got sick, however many years later it was. But so maybe this might be something the Giants need. Well, we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, a lot of it's got to do with offensive line play. Now, don't want to give any kind of wrong impressions. Like all of a sudden the Giants, our run game is like top 10 or something like that. No, I mean, what Spagnuolo, right, was like, we're not, after he saw what happened with the Cowboys, he's like, we're not getting beat deep. That's not happening. We got 2 safeties back. Nobody's getting beyond our safeties. That's not happening. Okay. So that gives you, the opportunity to run, right? Instead of putting maybe a safety up in the box, maybe to help with the run, right? So, what the Chiefs did was, allow the Giants to run, and the Giants ran. So, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean all of a sudden the Giants' run blocking and running game is unbelievable. Not necessarily. But, they took advantage of what, the Chiefs gave them. Chiefs gave maybe a light box. You run the ball, right? So, well, it's couldn't see. Doesn't read you even get a second read, bailed out of the pocket too fast, hold on the ball too long. I was over here. Other than that, he had a great game. Well, I mean, what they always say is like, one of the things is, his height. You start getting pressure up the middle, whatever. He can't see. So a lot of times he's got to roll out. It just certainly was not pretty. Now, hopefully, with Dart being a little bit taller, right? Have maybe a little bit more of an advantage seeing over the line, especially if he gets pressure in his face, and also Dart is a little more apt to tuck the ball and maybe take off a little bit. So certainly going to, hopefully inject some life into at least the crowd for a little while anyway. We'll have to wait and see because the Chargers have a very good defense coming in. So, and a good quarterback, right? Where are we at here? Well, so once again, you got Tyrone Tracy. He's expected to be sidelined for 2 to 4 weeks with a dislocated shoulder suffered early in the team's loss on Sunday, per Adam Schefter. Tracy, a second-year back, went down in pain when he was sandwiched by a pair of Kansas City Chiefs defenders on the second play of the second quarter. With Tracy out, the Giants are expected to lean on rookie Cam Scadaboo and Devin Singletary, and then hopefully Turbo Miller will be elevated from the practice squad. So now, if we can ever, I like that. That's a good 1-2 combo. I mean, I'm not saying we got the greatest, set of running backs in the league or not like that, but I mean, we got 2 guys now, ball a little bit different type of running back, but they both can catch the ball as well too. So, being in the red zone, I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he got hit in the head. Maybe he thought if he's in the red zone, maybe if he throws it through the uprights, maybe he thought he was going to get a field goal or something. I don't know. that was just that was one of the just horrible. First down at the 4-yard line. And I think we just started going backwards from there. It was unbelievable. I mean, it's just shame because I think we're like 2 out of 10 in the red zone this year. You got to score in the red zone. You get down close. I mean, especially against the Commanders. I think we were inside the 5 like 2 times. Couldn't score a touchdown. All line issues, right guard, center injured, the Mac on defense injured. Dart can move the ball, get some points, but the play call. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Well, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Really gonna be interesting. It's a new week. Every game is different. We'll have to wait and see. But I mean, there's a lot of things they got to get better at. I mean, the play calling is probably just one of them. It'll be interesting to see though. Like if we keep struggling, does Daboll take the play calling back? We'll have to wait and see. Or does they maybe get Kafka? I think he's been on the sideline all the time. They maybe try to put him up in the box or something. I'll have to wait and see. But I mean, you can't win anything scoring 6 points or 9 points. I mean, just absolutely horrible. And then when we got the injury news, right? So there were quite a few Chargers that were banged up as well too. But of course, Malik Neighbors is not practicing now. You don't know if this is like a bubble wrap kind of thing, kind of going on. Like he has a little something going on. They're like, dude, we don't need you to practice. Just take it easy, right? We'll take the bubble wrap off you on Sunday and you go play football or something like that because, they really need him out there, right? If nothing else, if they can't even get the ball to him, right? Nothing else, he does, take a lot of attention. It's kind of like Odell Beckham Jr., he causes defenders to, pay attention to him, right? Same thing with Malik Neighbors, right? Now, the thing is with that is, you got, 2 guys on Malik that kind of should open up the rest of the offense, the rest of the field, should open stuff underneath, in the middle of the field, But Wilson always seems to have a hard time right over the line of scrimmage there. He's short, right? So hopefully with Dart, that might help. We could use like our tight ends, really. I mean, it's almost like last year too. Daboll has this guy. Yep. Need to be trashed in the winning playbook. Yep. This is his guy. That is it. I mean, if Dart can't show anything, I mean, you can wave Daboll goodbye, right? So better start showing something, especially if Daboll plans on keeping his job. Because I mean, Dart will be around for a few years anyway, regardless. But they better start showing something. I mean, I said whether it winds up being where he has to take the play calling back from Kafka or not, we'll have to wait and see. But we got a lot of just issues, just horrible. So one of them, I said the tight ends, right? I mean, what do we got here? Let's look this up here. 2025 New York Giants. I mean, let's see how many catches the tight ends have here so far overall. Go to Pro Football Reference. Okay, let's go down here. All right, passing, rushing, receiving. Okay, so let's look here. Where are we at here? Okay, receptions. Chris Manhertz has 1. Daniel Bellinger has 2. Theo Johnson has 6. So we got 9 receptions between the tight ends. So the tight ends are averaging 3 receptions a game. I mean, also to be fair, right? I mean, when 99% of the targets are going toward Wandale Robinson or Malik Neighbors, right? It's kind of tough to target the tight ends when the balls are just getting launched down the field sometimes. But the thing is that, when that deep stuff is being taken away, you gotta you got to rely on the other guys. You don't rely on Chris Manhurts to get open. He's in there for blocking. But with Bellinger, he's had 2 targets. He's caught both passes. Theo Johnson's had 10 targets. He's caught 6 balls. These other guys really got to pick it up. And Darius Slayton has 6 catches. Right, we brought him back, gave him a nice pay, right? And he has 6 catches. He's averaging 2 receptions a game. He's averaging 30 yards a game. He's averaging 2 catches. Slayton, 2 catches a game for 30 yards. He's averaging 15 yards of reception. I'll take that. But he's 2 catches a game. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. All right. Let's see here. Hold on. Where is 12-13 personnel should be ran early and often help Dart. Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're definitely going to want to get that, hopefully try to get the running game going. It's easier said than done. But, oh, yeah, nothing like getting a good running game going. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Dart warm-up. Chargers have top 5 defense. Oh, yeah. Yep. They get good defense. So, and they got a good quarterback, too. All right. Let's see. Okay, so let me just share this here. This is the share screen. This is the Chargers. There we go. I guess, right? Yeah, there we go. This is from the Chargers. Chargers.com. So the Chargers' first injury report of Week 4 is out. The Bolts were without 5 players at Wednesday's practice as right guard Mekhi Becton had a concussion. Center Bradley Bozeman. I wonder if he's related at all to Swaze Bozeman of the Giants. So Bradley Bozeman has a back. Wide receiver Davis has a knee. Tight end Disley has a knee, and long snapper Lovato is personal. So I'm sure he'll be good to go. Chargers also had 4 players who were limited Wednesday. Molden, their safety, had a hamstring. Defensive lineman hand with a back. Dante Jackson, their cornerback with an ankle, and right tackle Trey Pipkins III, he had a knee. So Wednesday, a lot of guys were limited, and some did not participate. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They got 10 guys listed, right? So the Giants, though, let's see here. Once again, Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles, right? He was limited with his calf. Graham Gano did not participate with a groin. Chauncey Golston with an ankle, he was limited. Art Green, cornerback, he was limited. Theo Johnson with a toe. Seems like the guy, Theo, is always something, one way or the other. He's like always listed on the injury report. It seems like he always has something going on with him. Darius Muasau was limited, concussion. So hopefully maybe in a few days, maybe he might be able to pass concussion protocol. Malik Neighbors with a shoulder did not participate. Now, once again, are they just taking precautions? If Malik had to play, if today was Sunday, could he play? You don't know. You don't know. You won't know. We'll never know. So they just kind of, bubble wrap him, just, take the next couple of days off or whatever. And let's get that shoulder feeling good. So we'll have to wait and see. Nacho did not participate with his foot. Once again, John Michael Schmitz was with a neck. He was limited. Darius Slate with his calf, he was limited. Andrew Thomas with his foot, he was limited. I'm sure Andrew Thomas is going to be, you have something like this for Andrew Thomas for probably quite some time. And obviously Tyrone Tracy's shoulder, he did not practice at all. So we'll have to wait and see. Don't know if they're going to, maybe somehow put him on injured reserve at all. Oh, and Malik has ran only 1 slant. Yeah, I know. That was one of the things. It's like, you can't get the ball into his hands. What are you kidding me? Why? There's each NFL playbook is literally thicker than the Bible. There's 9 trillion pages. There's 4 I mean, you can't get the ball into his hands. Are you serious? Just unbelievable. Let's see. All eyes are on the Giants wide receiver Malik Neighbors ahead of the team's Week 4 game against the Chargers. On Wednesday afternoon, Brian Daboll said before practice that Neighbors would not take part. Unfortunately, Daboll didn't offer any specifics beyond that. I mean, he never does. Also, Daboll said Malik Neighbors won't practice today. Didn't get a chance to ask about his status. Daboll doesn't give you much. Daboll usually says whoever he's talking about, the person's getting better. Yeah, he's getting better. You know what I mean? So there's nothing. He'll never give you any type of specific on anything at all. Neighbors made an appearance on the Giants injury report over the first 2 weeks of the season with a back issue, but he was not on there last week. But now he's on this for his shoulder. This marks the second time this season Neighbors hasn't practiced. He missed the final session before Week 1, but ended up playing. So he's had something with the back, like tightness, I think, in the back. Now he has something with the shoulder, and then of course the whole season long he's going to have something with his toe. Now, it'll be interesting to see when the season's over with, because he's had the issues with his toe since college. Interesting to see if he does have any type of surgery done on it or not. I'll have to wait and see, but. Neighbors is already a crucial part of the Giants' offense, but he's even more important this week with the Giants giving the football to rookie Jaxson Dart, who's making his NFL debut. Oh, yeah, I mean, you're definitely going to want Malik out there. Not having Neighbors on the field will make an already tough matchup against the Chargers' elite defense even more difficult. If Neighbors doesn't go, guys like Darius Slayton and Wando Robinson will likely get a boost. We could also see Jalen Hyatt get more involved. Now, let's see. I mean, I don't even know. Does he even? Let's see where we're at. Hyatt even have a catch this season? He didn't even have a catch. I mean, I'll tell you what, man. That was a huge swing and miss there. We traded up a 5th round pick, a 5th and a 3rd, to get Hyatt. Reps are important during this time for the whole offense, especially Dart. The O-line receivers time. Oh, yeah. Yep. Daboll isn't demanding more practice. He has been accused of having relaxed. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. I mean, because especially with Dart in there, he's got the timing, with the guys running the routes. I mean, you can do a lot of that stuff also in film work and everything. But yeah, the more reps he gets on the field, I mean, everything's it's going to be huge. That's why, like the rest of the season, unfortunately, there's not a whole heck of a lot to look forward to this season. But all these reps that Dart gets are going to be huge, absolutely huge going forward. So, the nice thing is that with Dart, okay, going forward, right, he'll be under center. So we got Dart, right? We know in the backfield we got Tracy for at least 2 more seasons after this season, right? We got Cam Scatterbo for at least 3 more seasons after this season, right? We signed Slayton to a 2-year deal, so Slayton should be there next year. Of course, we're going to have Malik Neighbors for the next 400 years, right? Theo Johnson, and hopefully he can start stepping stuff up a little bit. But if he's around, we got him for another couple of years. You know what I mean? So we got a lot of guys. We'll have to see with Wando Robinson. They have to see if they're going to bring him back. He's one of those guys. And we got a few guys. We got Wando Robinson, right? McFadden, right? Belton and Flott. Keep an eye out on those 4 guys. We're going to bring those, or we're going to bring any or all of those guys, trying to bring them all back, but especially Wando Robinson, right? He's off to a very good start so far this year. And hopefully we bring him back. But, we got a bunch of young guys, as far as like the running backs, tight ends, and all of that. So hopefully as the games go by and all these young guys are out there, Darts start getting more and more familiar with all of them. So, each rep is going to be very, very valuable for him. Very valuable for him. I just brought this one up. I mean, this one's like, it's I don't as time is going by, it's like I don't even know. I mean, it's like you can make cases for each one being the worst. I mean, the more Daboll's out there, it's just like I'm like, oh my God, this guy is horrible. I mean, I don't know who, McAdoo the first year in 2016, right? Well, we did spend a lot of money in free agency that year, and we really beefed up the defense, and we won a lot of low scoring because Spagnuolo was there, low scoring, close games. We got to the playoffs and all that with McAdoo. But the next season, my God, that was a dumpster fire right there. I start later on in the year, game 8 or 9, no chance for playoffs. But for game 4, this is his last hope. Throw whatever the ball. Yep. Oh yeah, I'm sure he wasn't planning on starting him in week 4. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean starting him much later. But the thing is like there's not like a lot of soft spots. I mean, you figure we got this 4 and then 5. Okay, so the mid. So I guess week 9 would be after the Eagles, right? Because we had the Commanders, right? We had the Cowboys, right? We had the Chiefs, we got the Chargers, we got the Saints, then we got the Eagles, then we got, I can't remember who we got, then we got the Eagles again. So week 9, maybe after the Eagles. Because we got like, I think it's week 942 is our bye week. We got a late bye week this year. But there's not a lot of really soft spots that throw the rookie out there at all. I mean, so I'm sure Daboll had visions of not putting the rookie out there in week 4, but he's got to do something. He's got to show something there. That's for darn sure. But I mean, after McAdoo, right, and he didn't even make it through his second season, right? Once again, all these guys, right? All these guys, and I can even put Spagnuolo in here as well too. I could have put, because Spags was the interim coach in 2017 for the last 4 games, right? And if you look at Steve Spagnuolo, great defensive coordinator without question. But I mean, if you look at his time coaching, his time with the Rams, I mean, my goodness, coaching record. Let's see here. I mean, it was atrocious with the Rams. Okay. His first year with the Rams, he was 1-15. Then he got better. He went from 1-15 to 7-9. That's a huge. That's gigantic. That's fantastic. I mean, that's the needle's pointing up and everything. A plus 6 games, you go from 1 win to 7. That's huge. So you figure hopefully the next season will get even better. But no, he went from 7-9 to 2-14. So he only lasted 3 seasons with the Rams, and with the Rams he went 10-38. His winning percentage is even worse than the Giants has been over the past couple of seasons. His winning percentage was .208. Basically, he won like 1 out of every 5 games with the Rams. Then he comes with the Giants, and the last 4 games of the 2017 season with the Giants, he was 1-3. So his winning percentage was .250. So he's coached 52 games, Steve Spagnuolo. He was 11-41-0. His winning percentage is .212. Absolutely atrocious. So I could even put Steve Spagnuolo in here too, as far as coach. Right. But with Spagnuolo, I mean, once again, good defensive mind. Can't coach. Just can't coach. Then, of course, we brought after that, we brought in Shermer, or should I say Gettleman brought in Shermer, right? Now, Shermer spent 2 seasons with the Browns. Now, for Shermer's good, like calling plays and all, but he's not a good head coach. He was 9-23 with the Browns for 2 seasons. So he's 2 seasons with the Giants, and he goes 9-23. I mean, now the thing is that one of the things is that we were able to score some points with him. Right? We could score some points. Now he has the offensive mind, right? And we actually a couple of games there we actually did score some points, unlike with Daboll here, who's supposed to have a phenomenal mind when we can't seem to score any points, right? Some coaches are made to, yep, and not be a head coach. Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it seems like all these guys, I mean, good coordinators, very good coordinators. I mean, Daboll's supposed to be very good with the quarterbacks, right? McAdoo was very good, offensive-minded. Judge, I mean, at the time, I think we got him from New England. He was like with their special teams coordinator, and he did a very good job there. Shermer was very good at calling plays, but these guys cannot. Coaching, just horrible. And of course, then you got Joe Judge. Now, the thing was with Judge is 2020, we started, I think it was 1-7 with Judge. And I'm like, oh my God, we were better with Shermer. The thing is that I started drinking the Kool-Aid in 2021 was because the final 8 games, the second half of 2020, we went 5-3. We even we beat Russell Wilson, of all things. I think Wayne Train Gallman was the running back. Colt McCoy was our quarterback. Somehow we went into Seattle. Pete Carroll's the coach, right? Now, to be fair, it wasn't there was no 12th man there, or the 38th man or 57th man or whatever they got there, because it was the COVID year. So it was very quiet there, right? I'm sure that has a lot of advantage as well to it. But we actually went into Seattle, went against Russell Wilson, and we actually, with a backup quarterback, because Saquon got injured. He plays with the Eagles and he doesn't get injured, but when he plays with the Giants, he's injured. But we had Wayne Gallman. I think he might have had over 100 yards rushing, if I'm not mistaken. We beat Seattle. So, I mean, we went 5-3 in those final 8 games, and I'm like, okay, maybe Judge is his way is taken over. So you got to figure maybe it's the start of 2021, then just start turning around for the Giants, and maybe we'd start taking on. No, absolutely not. Right in the dumper. Right in the dumper. And one of the things is like with Judge, it's just there's certain things that they do after you lose. It just kind of just like piss you off. And one of the things was like after we lost, you start losing almost every game. So after it's over with, somebody would ask him a question, and Judge like, I got to look at the tape on that one there, And somebody else come another question is, I got to look at the tape on that one. Yeah, I'm not. That was like his answer, And he just like gets out coached, and he just doesn't know what he's doing. He may be a good coordinator. As far as head coach, absolutely not. And the same thing here with Daboll, right? And then we come to Daboll. Now, somehow, the first season, right, we're 9-7-1. We had no salary cap. Shane comes in. We didn't have a very good draft class that year, right? I mean, as it panned out, we didn't have a great draft class that year. We had no salary cap. We had Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. Somehow we went 9-7-1. We went into the playoffs, and we beat the Vikings somehow, right? And of course, the Eagles wound up smoking us. But, so it's like, wow, Daboll did that. Holy cow. Wow. So, all right, maybe we got ourselves a coach here. And then everything just horrible. Like McAdoo's first season was pretty good, right? We went to the playoffs. Right? We got killed in the playoffs, but we went to the playoffs. Second season was horrible. Shermer, I can't really say much of anything. Right? He was just horrible both seasons. I said, but with Judge, right? His first season, we started 1-7, but we finished 5-3, right? And then the second season was just all downhill after that. Same thing with Daboll. First season, we're 9-7-1. We go to the playoffs, win a playoff game. It's like, wow. Then I think, as I said, I think our winning percentage from 2023, 2024, and the first 3 games this year, I think with 243 winning percentage. Right. So I tell you, I couldn't even guess. Which one of these guys is that? It was the worst. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Maybe Shermer, because there really wasn't much of a good to him at all. I said, but a couple of games we did score some points, right? We did score some points. Now, to also be fair, right? I hate bringing up Daniel Jones, right? But Daniel Jones in his rookie season, 2019, right, which was Shermer's second season there, right? Daniel Jones did set an NFL record, right? And which has never been beaten, right? He has 3 games as a rookie quarterback. There's no rookie quarterback ever to have done this. Okay. And Shermer was the head coach, right? To have 3 games, okay, of 300 or more passing yards, 4 or more touchdowns, and no interceptions. Now, also to be fair, Daniel Jones, of course, one of the biggest problems he had was his fumbles. He had some fumble issues, but there's been no quarterback in NFL history in their rookie season that's had 3 games of 300 or more passing yards. Now, I mean, you go back to the 1940s and the 1950s and the 30s, they don't throw the ball that much. So, it's a little difficult, But one of the games that Daniel Jones did have his 4 touchdowns was the Tampa Bay game, right? He had 2 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns, but he had 4 touchdowns. What was it? Washington, he had 5 touchdowns. And I think against the Lions, he had 4 touchdowns, I think it was. So in those 3 games, he had over 300 yards passing. He had a grand total of at least 4 touchdowns in all 3 of those games, and he had no interceptions. Fran Tarkenton, I think 1961 was his rookie season because he got drafted by the Vikings in Minnesota's first year ever, which was 1961. Fran Tarkenton, his rookie season, did it. But one of those games he threw an interception. So he was like the closest. Okay. But no, Shermer was calling the plays, I believe, for the Giants those 2 seasons. And that one year with Daniel Jones, he was putting up, not enough because we had a horrible record. But Shermer, he wasn't too bad of a play caller. Not too bad of a play caller. Oh, we got Jones. Oh, Jones and Colts went 19. Yep, unbelievable. Coaching, play calling matters. Situational awareness is everything. Yep. Oh, I mean, Daniel. What the heck was it? There's only been 2 quarterbacks. 2 quarterbacks or 2 teams? I can't remember what it was. It was Facebook, but they showed a picture of. I don't really think the floor is going to fall out. Daniel Jones is going to fall through the floor one of these. Some along the line. But there's only been, I think, 2 teams since, I guess, the merger, maybe 1970, where the teams, what the heck is it, are 3-0 and have punted less than 5 times in the first 3 games. It's either less than 5 times or 5 times or less punted in their first 3 games total. They were 3-0 and they punted 5 or less than 5 times total in their first 3 games. There was only 2 teams, I think, since the merger to have done that. Of course, one is the 2025 Colts, and the other one is the 2007 New England Patriots. They were pretty good. Remember, they were 18-0 until the Giants beat them. But I mean, it's just like, they went there. They only punted obviously 1 time. It took them. What the heck was it? They went like 15 or 20 drives in a row before they punted. Now, to be fair, they did lose the first 2 games. They didn't punt at all. Right? In the game this past week against the Titans, I think they went for it a couple of times on 4th down. They lost the ball on down, so they didn't necessarily punt. But so they did lose the ball. But they've actually scored 21 times in the first 3 games. Now, to be fair, I mean, they played against the Broncos, so the Broncos got to, have a good defense, right? But to be fair, they played against the Dolphins, who are not very good, and they played against the Titans, who are not very good. But regardless, right? The Indianapolis Colts have scored 21 times in the first 3 games. They were averaging 7 scores a game. Let's see, the Giants, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know what we did against the Cowboys. 4, 5, maybe 5 times. So maybe what did we score, like 5, 6 times against the guy? So maybe we've scored maybe 10 times in 3 games. Colts scored 21 times. Just, of course, it's just another slap in the face for the Giants because Daniel Jones, it's good for him. Good for you. Right? I ain't got nothing against Daniel Jones. But he goes to the Colts and he looks like this, right? We don't want to re-sign Saquon. I'm going to talk about him and very shortly. And of course, then he look what he does with the Eagles. Now, of course, he was never going to do that with the Giants because the Giants don't have that personnel. The Giants don't have that offensive line. So, but I mean, Saquon rushes for over 2,000 yards. He gets himself a Super Bowl ring. Once again, good for him. And if they actually put him in the game against the Giants, the final game of the season, he would have had the rushing record. Probably would have had the rushing record by halftime. Now, to be fair, also, Eric Dickerson did it in 16 games, right? If Saquon broke the record, he would have done it in 17 games. So, but I said, then you look at Xavier McKinney, once again, good for him, right? And he's like, I think he was tied for the league, and he had like 7 interceptions after the first 7 or 8 games last year. I mean, just, and he's with the Packers. Packers are a good team. So, good for them all. Right? I mean, you look, but the Eagles are 3-0, Colts are 3-0, and the Packers lost to the Browns. So that was what we got. So 8-1, right? Between the Packers, the Colts, and the Eagles. So they keep Daniel Jones and keep Saquon Barkley and then keep Xavier McKinney. And the teams that they went to, they're 8-1. So it's kind of like, I don't know. Is it Shane's fault for letting these guys go? Or is it maybe the coaching that couldn't get the best of these guys? Because you look at him, some of you can blame on Shane, but it's like, is Shane calling the plays? Is Shane, coaching these guys? Shane gets the guys and he gives it to, here you go, here's your toy, go play with it. And Daboll and company, they go play with the toys and you're supposed to get good results with it. I mean, so very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. But just another slap in the face to the New York Giants. But something really, really good. And speaking of Saquon, he's I got 2 more things to talk about. He's the last portion of our program. But speaking of running backs, this is gotta love this. Gotta love this. Highest rated running back. Oh, yeah, that's him. Absolutely. I'm going to show you. I mean, it's just now, if you go but you got to dial, I'm going to go to PFF and show you. But you got to dial it down just to halfbacks, not so much fullbacks or quarterbacks, like that, because some of the quarterbacks get good running grades and stuff like that. No, I'm not talking about quarterbacks, but running backs. Cam Scatterbill. After 3 weeks, that's all I'm saying. PFF. Numero uno. What? Yep. So let me share my screen here. Let me show you. This is just some crazy stuff. Share the screen. All right. I got 37,000 tabs open up here, so I got to find it here. Where we at here? Okay, here we go. Let me share my screen here. All right. It's just stone cold crazy. Hopefully it populates. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, so you go. So I got at the NFL, right? Season 2025, the regular season. I didn't do preseason, right? And we got the halfback position. Okay, for all 32 teams, right? So I'm going to slide it over here, right? All right, now I'm just going to go here. Now this is the running grade, okay? So this guy here, whoever Merritt is, apparently I don't know, But see, also this too. See, I some of this, I really, I don't like this at all. Yes, to some small degree, because, well, not this past weekend, okay, because Jane Daniels wasn't in the game, but I hate when other teams that like their running backs maybe are graded really good or whatever when they have a really good running quarterback, right? Like Jane Daniels in there. That really that sometimes does help to elevate these running backs to a certain degree. But if you go over here, the overall offensive grade, overall, okay, and I just click on that, ba-boom, who pops up number one? Look at this. Cam Scatterbill, PFF, 85.7. Okay. Now, once again, I'm going to go over, I'm going to go over this real fast, but then the last portion of our program, I'm going to talk a little more in depth and detail, okay, about this. Let's go. So Cam is number one. Okay. Let's scroll down the list here. Let's go down, and we'll go down, and we'll go down, and we'll go down. I'm going to show you a name here, and we're going to go down, and we're going to go down. Where I don't remember where the heck he is. No, he's not that far down. Oh, wait. Wait. Hold on. No. He is. I'm sorry. My bad. Hold on. He is. Right? So once again, Cam, the New York Giants starting running back. Let's hope the guy can stay healthy and all that. As of right now, according to PFF, that's all it is, right? It's number one. Okay. So let's keep going down. Okay. We're at number 48, 49, 50, 51. Let's keep going down. Look at this. Ashton Genty, right? Supposed to be the greatest thing ever, right? He's graded 56.5. He's averaging 3.1 yards a carry. Very impressive. Let's keep going down. And he's here somewhere. Up, here we go. Who's the seventh? Once again, it's only 3 games, all this stuff. Things can change in a heartbeat, all that stuff. I get it. I'm just saying, as of right now, just after 3 small sample size, I get it, right? Who's the number 75th, according to PFF, according to their grading center? Oh, look at this guy right here. Number 75th, 53.7. That's his. So as of right now, Cam is at 30 points higher than Saquon. 30 than Saquon Barkley. Saquon's averaging 3.3 yards a carry. 3.3 yards a carry. Are you kidding me? But I mean, we can't. I mean, offensive grade, right? 85.7. His running grade, 84.7. Now, once again, 84.7. So he's the number. His running grade is the 3rd highest, behind 2 guys from the Commanders. Right now, Cam has only had 23, carries. Right, some guys have had almost double that. Kyron Williams here of LA's had 55. So a lot of guys have had more carries. So he's only had 23. But he's averaging 4.4 yards a carry. Right, this guy Merritt has had 22 carries, 125. He's averaging 5.7 yards a carry. What we got? So his running grade is almost a 90. This other guy is Jeremy McNichols. I mean, he's averaging 12.9 yards a attempt, but his running grade is only 0.1 more than Cam, right? Let's see. Run blocking. Now, let's see. Scats, his run blocking is not phenomenal. I do want to say, do they have this? Rushing. Do they have pass blocking there? Nah. Well, they do, but for running backs, apparently, I guess. Oh, well, whatever. But this goes to show you, right? The number one Well, as of right now, according to PFF, 85.7. Cam Scatterbo. Very impressive. Very, very impressive. Where are we at here? And Cam, right? Cam Scatterbo makes PFF's Rookie Team of the Week. Following his breakout performance in primetime this past week, Cam Scatterbo is earning praise and accolades from numerous media outlets. Scatterbo ran the ball 10 times for 60 yards and a touchdown against a tough Chiefs run defense in Week 3, while adding 6 receptions for an additional 61 yards. He finishes the team's leading rusher and receiver. Scatterbo was nominated for the Pepsi Rookie of the Week, marking the second consecutive week he's earned a nomination for the award. Now he's being recognized by Pro Football Focus as well. The 23-year-old has been named the running backs PFF's Rookie Team of the Week, again marking the second straight week he's earned the honor. PFF took it a step further, though, with Scatterbo landing all the way up at number 2 on the analytics website ranking of the top 15 rookies so far this season. Let's see. PFF, top 15 rookies so far this season. What we got here? Okay. Jaxson Dart, a tight end from Buffalo, is averaging 91.8. I don't know. So Jaxson Dart, tight end from Buffalo. Apparently, he's the highest graded rookie so far. Where are we at here? Cam Scatterbo earns an incredible grade for his early season play as a rookie running back. Scatterbo has quickly made himself as a fan favorite for the New York Giants, and for good reason. Very few running backs run with the potency of the rookie running back at Arizona State. He's also caught the attention of some of the major analytics services, right? Here's how PFF describes him in its new rankings piece. Scatterbo starts Sunday night against the Chiefs and takes over the number 2 spot with his first appearance on the list. Before David Montgomery's Monday Night Football explosion, Scatterbo led all running backs in Week 3 with a PFF overall grade of 83. Scatterbo didn't take long to take more work from Tyrone Tracy, and now Tracy is hurt, so it's going to be the Scatterbo show going forward. It's an exciting time to be a Giants fan. Rookie quarterback Jaxson Dart is getting his first start of the weekend, and backfield of Dart alongside Scatterbo can't be, obviously with Malik Neighbors as well, though. So the Giants have a few really good, solid studs, to build this offense around. Let's see. The Arizona State product rushed the ball 10 times against the Chiefs, forcing 5 missed tackles and recording 3 plays of 10-plus yards, including a 13-yard touchdown run near halftime for a second rushing score of the season. Scatterbo averaged 4.4 yards after contact and had a 30% first down plus touchdown rate. He finished the night with a 78.1 PFF rushing grade. As a receiver, Scatterbo caught 6 of his 8 passes for 61 yards and 4 first downs, both top 2 marks. He averaged 9.5 yards after the catch per reception and logged 2 catches of 15-plus yards on his way to an 86.6 PFF receiving grade, which was second best. The 4th-round pick is the NFL's highest-graded running back through Week 3. He ranks in the top 2 in PFF rushing at 84.7 and receiving grades 81.9. Scatterbo has turned 23 carries into 102 yards, gained 7 first downs, scoring twice and forcing 8 missed tackles. As a receiver, he scored 10 of 13 passes for 87 yards with 4 first downs and 3 forced missed tackles. So he has almost 190 total yards, right, through 3 weeks. So Darth Vader, yeah. Tasmanian Tam. There you go, right? Other Giants' future, hopefully Neighbors, Thomas, Dex. Yeah, yep. Giants have scored 5 total touchdowns in 3 games, 3 bad. Oh, okay, yep, very sad. And 4 of those, I guess, right? Whatever in 1 game. Right? So in 2 other games, we scored 1 touchdown. I mean, Very, very sad. Very, very sad. All right. And then finally, let's see, I got one more here. Of course, this has to do with Cam and Mr. Saquon. Mr. Saquons. Right. So, the thing is now, right, letting Saquon go looks like a great move now, right? Possibly. Now, let me show you. I mean, as I said, Saquon so far, once again, it's early on, and I get it, all that stuff. But Saquon right now with almost one of the best offensive lines in football. Okay, good quarterback, 2 number 1 wide receivers, one of the best offensive lines in football is averaging 3.3 yards a carry. Not very impressive at all. According to PFF, his overall offensive rating, he's the 75th ranked halfback in pro football after 3 games. Long way to go. I get it, right? But if you look, I mean, the Eagles, after his remarkable season last year, okay, the Eagles decided to give him a huge boost in pay, right? Now, let me show you here. Okay, let me show you. Let me share my screen here. Show you what what Saquon's getting here, right? And of course, the thing is here, is once again, of course, is the Eagles. So the Eagles can't afford to pay a lot of their players. So what they do is they put void years on after their contract's over. They pay a lot of their salary after they're gone because they can't afford their players right now. Now, I know a lot of teams do this. I get it. But nowhere near to the extent of what the Eagles do. The Eagles, I think like last year, have like $300 to $400 million in contracts pushed down the road. Why? Because they can't afford their players. If the Eagles were forced to be able to afford their players, they wouldn't have the team they have. And a lot of these superstars, like Saquon, wouldn't be on the team. So that's one of the reasons why the Eagles look so good. Oh, my God, they look so good now. They can't afford their players. Right? They're pushing all the chips in the middle of the table. And if they win a Super Bowl, good for them. But to me, I'm not impressed because they're winning a Super Bowl. They're getting lucky, one, because they're very, very healthy. They got very lucky last year, and so far this year, once again, they're lucky once again, right? And they can't afford their play. So they're to me, I'm not impressed. I will never be impressed. I couldn't care less. These void year stuff, I wish they would do away with this. It's like if you can't afford your players, meaning when their contract's up, their money's gone, and everything's off the books. There's none of this. I'll put 352 void years on the end of your. No, there's not. I wish they would do away with it. I can't stand it. So it gives a team like this, right? And once again, they're going to pay the piper, okay? But if you can't afford your players, you don't get them, right? But once again, if we look here, right, there's a void year here, 2029, 2030, all these void years contracts here, right? They have prorated option to pay them, and if I can move it over here, cap hit here. The first year of his void years, the cap hit is 12.3, 9.2, 6.1, and 3.3. Now, they just gave him, right, after last year, they signed a 2-year, $41 million extension contract, including $36 million guaranteed. So basically, they just, because after last year, right, what they did is that, oh man, Saquon, you did a great year. You got 2,000 yards. They rewarded him. Good for him. Good for you. So right now, they're paying him over $20 million these 2 years. Of course, they're not actually paying him that because they can't afford it. So let's see, what his cap hit this year, is $6 million, 6.6. His contracts, he's making like around $20.5 million, but it's nowhere near that. Right? His cap hit is only 6. So the other 14, I guess, is all pushed down the road because they can't afford to pay him, right? But $6.6 million, right? I said, he's averaging 3.3 yards a carry, right? Joe Shane, right? He had a great year last year, but they're paying him $40 million over 2 years. Okay. And he's making 3.3 yards a carry after 2 weeks. I get it. So let's go over to the Giants, okay? And let's see. Go Cam, right? What's Cam doing? All right, let's see here. Let's see. We're down the bottom there. Okay. All right. All right. Now the number one, once again, it's only 3 weeks. I get all of this stuff. I get it. Small sample size. I understand. I get it. Right. Right. But as of right now, according to PFF, right, the number one rated running back, okay, in the NFL per PFF, the offensive grade, right. 4-year, $5.2 million contract. His average salary is 1.3. 1.3. Saquon's salary, like they gave him a contract extension. He's making over $20 million a season. Saquon's making $19 million more per season than Cam Scatterbill. $19 million more. And as of right now, who's averaging over 4 yards a carry? Cam Scatterbill. Who's the number one, according to PFF, rated running back in all of football? Cam Scatterbill. Who's the number 75th running back in football? Saquon Barkley. Who's averaging 3.3 yards a carry? Saquon Barkley. Who's making his contract over $20 million a season? Saquon Barkley. Would you rather pay Saquon Barkley $20 million or would you rather pay Cam Scatterbill $1 million? I rest my case, right? So, yeah. Once again, you can argue. Joe's done a great job with the cap, master. Work his magic to even put together some type of talent with Daboll. Oh yeah, yep. Oh yeah, man. Yep. No, I mean it's absolutely. I can't agree with you more. I mean they're just the coaching staff is just lost. I mean they're just not doing very good. The talent is there. I'm not saying we have the talent maybe to win a Super Bowl, but the talent is there. Yeah. The coaching is not, without question. Without question. So, I mean, obviously, as I said, good for Saquon. He won himself. He's unbelievable. I wish they kept him, right? He's an unbelievable human being, great, great in the locker room, great teammate and all that stuff. And good for him. He won himself a Super Bowl, 2,000 yards, right? Good for him and all that, right? But, Shane stuck to his guns, right? Let me see, Well, I mean, let me just look here. Saquon. Yeah, I mean, also this too. Saquon Barkley. All right, let's go to Pro Football Reference. Stats. Let's see. Stats by year. Okay. All right, here we go. Yeah, I mean, and this stuff adds up, right? This stuff adds up. He's had 1,600 rushing attempts. 1,600. And he's had 331. So basically between receptions and rushes, he's had 2,000. Receptions and rushes, 2,000. That's a lot. Okay. And this is all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 8th season. Barkley's 54. Yeah, 2 touchdowns. Yeah. Yeah, but Barkley's averaging 3.3 yards a carry with one of the best offensive lines in football. Cam with, Lord knows what our offensive line is, ranked. He's averaging 4.4 yards a carry with a horrible offensive line. And 2 touchdowns. Cam is Scatterboo's is his contract is at $1.3 million. Saquon just signed a 2-year deal extension with the Eagles. He's paying, which 2 years, $41 million. So he's making like over $21 million or over $20 million a year. So, I mean, as I said, Shane, I wasn't happy at the time, but he stuck with his guns. He let Saquon walk. Of course, we all look like jerks or idiots and morons, last season. But, I mean, as of right now, Saquon isn't, I don't know if the carries are catching up to him or what, but, he's had like 2,000 touches so far in his career. So somewhere along the line, they start catching up to you. So is this going to be the season? Who knows? But Saquon is not off to a banner start. So Camus half the touches. Yeah. 54 rushes. He would have almost. Yeah. Oh yeah. And then you add in his receiving yards as well too. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, see, it's also it's very difficult because you don't have the offensive line the Eagles do, right? You got the Giants' offensive line, you got the Eagles' offensive line. It's like apples and oranges. It's like not the same thing, So, everything obviously will really look bad this year. And this is after just 3 games. Saquon could be off to another 1,500, 1,800. Who knows? It's a long season. Anything can happen. But I'm just saying, as of right now, I mean, Barkley's averaging 3.3 yards a reception, and he's making over, the new contract he just signed, he's making like $20.5 million a season. I mean, that's. So, I mean, as of right, which one would you rather have? I'd rather have Cam, right? His first season, right? And, one of the things, too, that Saquon had a hard time with, right, was pass protection. He was not very good at picking up blitzes or sticking his nose in there and stuff like that. I mean, you look at what Cam doing. I mean, I don't know if he broke that dude's ribs from the Chiefs the other night. And went out there and chip blocked him. Holy, he nailed that dude. I mean, as much as I'd love to have Saquon on his team, for $1.3 million, I'm more than happy to take Cam Scatterbill. So, all right, guys. Oh, let me see. What do you got here? Hold on. Got one more. This. 10 receptions. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, so you figure it's 10 receptions for 87 yards, right? And if he had 54 rushes, right? Maybe 4 to 5 touchdowns, right? So you figure, I mean, he'd have 300 to 400 total yards, or he'd be averaging over 100 yards a game. I mean, and he'd have 4 or 5 touchdowns. I mean, so to get that guy in the 4th round. Whoo, man, that was a good pick. That was a real good pick. Let's just hope he can stay healthy. Right? Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I just hope he doesn't hurt himself or something like that or whatever. But, definitely. Put somebody in. Oh, yeah. I mean, the guys on the sideline are looking at that. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, it just fires you up. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, fires the fans up and everything. So let's hope that with any luck, let's hope that Dart can perform at a good bang. At least give it. I mean, if we're not going anywhere, if we're going to have a losing record this year, at least give us some hope going forward. All right, guys, it's been almost 1 hour and 40 minutes. Good talking to you, man. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I greatly appreciate it. A lot of times I'm up here talking to myself. So thank you so much. I greatly appreciate all your comments. Man, it's great. Good talking to you. So whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. If anybody's going to spend any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants! Woo! Oh, yeah. Bye.